They say a lie can travel halfway through the world while the truth is still putting on its shoes. That's so true today. It's very important that all of us during this pandemic and the lockdown do not spread rumors, do not circulate unverified information. There are legal consequences when we spread rumors, wittingly or unwittingly. Section 54 of the Disaster Management Act comes with 1 year imprisonment for a false alarm. Then you have the most stringent Section 505 1B of the IPC, the Indian Penal Code, for public mischief and a 3 year jail term. You've got 268 of the IPC for public nuisance. You've got 298 of the IPC if you injure religious feelings with a 1 year imprisonment, or even Section 153A for promoting enmity between different groups with a 3 year imprisonment term. Now, there has to be a distinction between deliberately spreading rumors and unintentionally spreading rumors. Many people often ask me about the role of WhatsApp administrators and whether they are legally liable for content that may be troublesome. In my opinion, a WhatsApp administrator is not an intermediary. The intermediary is actually WhatsApp. Because if you look at the definition in the Information Technology Act, Section 21W, it very clearly defines an intermediary as somebody who transmits information, somebody who receives information. And in fact, there are categories given like a network service provider, a search engine, or a telecom service provider. Now, very interestingly, the Delhi High Court in Ajay Balla versus Suresh Chaudhary had come up with an interesting analogy where the judge said that, to make a WhatsApp administrator criminally liable would be the same as fastening liability on a newsprint supplier for defamatory content in a newspaper. So it's very clear that there is no vicarious liability in criminal law. Just because you are a WhatsApp administrator, you do not conscript yourself to the role of policing content on that WhatsApp group 24/7. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you are a WhatsApp administrator for an alumni group where there are members in different countries and different time zones. It's not going to be possible for you to monitor content 24/7. So therefore, when you do not have control, you cannot have criminal liability fastened. Of course, this is not to suggest that you need to be reckless or you can take your eyes off the ball. You need to have some due diligence if there are members who post content that could be defamatory or that could be spreading rumors. Then I think it's your duty as the WhatsApp administrator to inform those members, warn them, perhaps even remove them from the group if they persist with such activities. Now, there's another interesting aspect to this as to whether retweets are not endorsements. These disclaimers or forwarded as received, whether these disclaimers come with any sort of legal immunity. Now, let's analyze two offenses. One, public mischief, 505 1B of the IPC. The wording is very clear. It talks even about not just somebody who makes content, but also somebody who circulates it. Similarly, if you look at criminal defamation, the words used are anyone by words spoken or written intended to be read. So in such cases, a retweet or forwarding something as received could actually constitute republication because this would get more traction. It keeps the pot boiling in a sense. In a very interesting case in the UK, Chris Keynes versus Lalit Modi, the court harped on the principle of percolation on the internet. So in my opinion, to have disclaimers like retweets are not endorsements could be no different from carrying an umbrella in a cyclone. Free speech, yes, by all means. Free for all, definitely not.